Hello and a warm welcome to It's My Life, the program that brings you face to face with multifaceted politicians of the country. This week we are in the cultural capital of India, the city of joy, that's Kolkata. And our guest is a very special person, someone who's popularly known as a quiz master, a columnist, a writer and an author. And of course, he's a member of parliament in Rajya Sabha, Derek O'Brien, the Trinamool Congress leader. Derek O'Brien, Trinamool Congress member of parliament from Rajya Sabha, was born in Kolkata to an Anglo Indian family. A student of St. Xavier's Collegiate in Kolkata, Derek began his professional career as a journalist but soon shifted to advertising, where he worked at Ogilvy for 8 years.
My Hindi is still very bad.
Today he is the host of the longest running knowledge game show on television, the Bournvita Quiz Contest. In 2004, he joined the All India Trinamool Congress and currently is holding the post of the Vice President. In 2009, he was made the head of the Passenger Services Committee of the Indian Railways under Mamata Banerjee. In July 2012, Derek was nominated for one of the 6 seats in Rajya Sabha from West Bengal. Our journey of the program begins with Derek the Quiz Master. So let's go to St. Xavier's Boys School, where he will interact with the school kids.
We have a very special person with us here today, old boy and ex-student of St. Xavier's Collegiate School. Please put your hands together for Derek O'Brien.
There he is, Derek O'Brien, looking very smashing. Yes, with his old Bavarian style.
Firstly, I want to really thank Father Principal for having me here. Thank you, Father. Could we have a round of applause for? We're very happy. Actually, we are here today because we are shooting a program called It's My Life. It's for Rajya Sabha television. The lady who hosts the program is also with us. Where are you? Neelu is here from Delhi. Let's have a round of applause for... If you have anything to ask me about life in general, I'll try and answer it. If I can't, I'll take some help from the teachers. Yeah? So who wants to go first?
Yeah, I would just like to know what is your thought on the current status of women in India?
I'll tell you, Karesh, it's a very good question. When we talk about ladies and women, we talk about them as Devi, like a goddess, or mere ma, or my sister, or my bhabhi, in that kind of sense. I think, and what I said in Parliament was, women, fine, you treat them like all that, but you treat them as regular, you treat them as citizens of India. And I think that's what I spoke about in Parliament. So that's my view. How many lady teachers in your school now? Lots? Out of lots? Yeah, that's why St. Xavier is doing so well these days. They got more ladies teaching you. Okay. Yes, what's your name? Tanmay. Tanmay, don't look at me like that. I'm feeling nervous that you're looking at me, Tanmay.
What are your views on social networking sites like Facebook and Twitter?
I am all for Facebook. I am all for Twitter. But at the same time, I think our attention span is becoming a little small, short. If you're going to spend so much of time on Facebook and so much of time on Twitter, I also spend a lot of time on Twitter. I don't know if I've told you the story about called the Potty Habit. I don't know, I've said, you know the story? I had 2 younger brothers, myself. From our bedroom, we had to cross the dining room and then go to the loo. So my dad and mom would insist the door was always kept open when we used the potty in the morning, when we were the potty. You know why the door was kept open? Because we were given, that time there was only one newspaper in Calcutta. So we were given the newspaper and you had to sit on the throne with the newspaper. It became part of your physiological self. So, yeah, I know you're tittering and laughing about it now, but so that's how we actually started reading the newspaper.
So, do you think Xavier should be co-ed?
Sorry? You know something? A few weeks ago, the Jesuits broke a record. For the first time in the history of the Catholic Church, there's a Pope was a Jesuit. Now that's a record they've broken already. Please don't ask them to break any more records. Let the Jesuits run St. Xavier's as a boys' school.
In a country like India, when you sought it as a career, what made you think that you could take quizzing to this level, or India had it in itself?
When I was in school and when I was in college, I wanted to be in the business of communication. So I wanted to be in the business of communication, so I was in advertising and I was in journalism. So this quizzing thing was a new form of communication. The message is here is you've got to do all the subjects. You've got to do ICSE, ISC, CBSE. Please do it and do it well. But you will be passionate about 2 or 3 things. And those passionate subjects are the subjects which are going to make you or break you later. Thank you, boys, and thank you, teachers. Thank you for having me back in my old school. It was really nostalgic for being here. And thank you so much and God bless you. And Mera Bharat Mahan. Thank you.
St. Xavier's Kolkata has also been Derek's alma mater, so some nostalgic moments.
So Derek, sitting in a classroom on a bench, especially wearing this tie when you wore on special occasions at Xavier's. So how does it feel?
Well, this is nostalgia, and it's wonderful that through your show, It's My Life, one has given me this opportunity to be nostalgic. Of course, people might feel that men and women over the age of 40, for them nostalgia is a middle-aged illness. But that having been said, it's a wonderful, wonderful moment.
Recount for us and for the audience some of your classroom moments. Were you a naughty kid? Or were you very obedient? What was it like?
Very, very naughty backbencher. Done some crazy things in school.
Okay.
Including, like once a physics teacher in class 9, a priest, Belgian priest, was doing a physics experiment. And for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, he tried the experiment, didn't work. And he was so upset, this Belgian priest with a long white beard. And then he figured it out after 30 minutes that 2 of us had gone and pulled the plug from, so there was no power coming through. So this kind of stuff. But I played a lot of sport in school, did a lot of elocution, debating. I was passionate about elocution in school and writing essays. Very good as far as all that goes. Very, very bad when it came to physics, chemistry.
But I'm sure your teachers must have figured out in the classroom that probably you would do something in humanities or maybe communications or language. What?
I really don't know. At that time, sometimes in school, young people are made to feel like such losers. And that's why I go around schools today, 4,500 schools, which my company interacts with. And I go and tell young people that, listen, there's no question of being a loser. You can be a winner in so many things you do. And in fact, I'm writing a book on this, about failure.
Okay.
And it's important to fail in life. And you can't, whoever you are, you can't help failing.
Coming to the quizzing pattern, like you were the main force behind making, your dad of course was the pioneer of quizzing, but you actually brought it to the mainstream. How quizzing became popular in India.
No, I think,
and after that, yeah, go ahead.
I think Neelu O'Brien, of course, was the first. He was the pioneer. I think Siddharth Basu's show, Quiz Time, was another reason. I was at the right place at the right time, so I got Bournvita Quiz to do. But for me, quizzing was just not a hobby. I'm happy that I've managed to turn quizzing. There are 70 people who work in Derek O'Brien Associates. For them, it's their bread, their butter, their jam. It's a regular company. Right. So that quizzing can become a profession today, I think wonderful. And when Mr. Bachchan started hosting a quiz show and became a quiz master, I said, wow, this is what we've been doing. This is an important year for me personally because it's my 25th year in quizzing. as we speak, 25th year in quizzing and my 10th year in politics.
ফিরে আসছি একটি ছোট ব্রেকে পর। Is my Bengali right?
Well, I'll give you at least pass marks. Fire aschi ekta choto break er por.
Okay.
Very, very good. Very, very good. You'll pass in St. Xavier School.
Well, that's the Bengali version for let's take a break at this point in time and return with lots more on Derek O'Brien. Don't go away. Back in a moment. Welcome back. You're watching It's My Life with Trinamool Congress MP Derek O'Brien.
This is Derek's office from where all the groundwork of the famous Bournvita Quiz show happens.
Still very, very bad.
From concept to execution, Cadbury Bournvita Quiz Contest, after so many years, still remains a hot favorite amongst the school children. Started in 1992 on ZTV, the show made a comeback in 2011 on Colours after Bring BQC Back campaign on the Facebook.
Derek, we are at this Hooghly River, which is a landmark of Kolkata. And so what brings you here really?
Actually, when you told me you wanted to do a program, I suggested here because I need any excuse to come here.
Okay.
It's arguably the most beautiful part of the city.
Coming to politics, you're going to complete 10 years in politics and 25 years of quizzing.
10 years in politics, 10 years with Trinamool, 10 years with Mohammadadi, and 25 years in quizzing.
So quite contented with the way your journey has been with Trinamool?
Absolutely. It's been a learning journey. It's been a fascinating journey. When you actually, when somebody from a different field like acting or music or quizzing, when you join politics, there are two ways you can try and make a small change. One is you go to cocktail parties and keep talking about it and cribbing. And the other is you actually get totally involved.
How did you when did you decide actually that you need to join politics?
Good
and
question.
Why did you do so?
Yeah, politics is a huge stage. And there was, when I joined even 10 years ago, that time the left were here for about 2 decades, the communists.
Right.
And there was a deep passion from inside to try and do something to remove the communists from Bengal. Because they had kind of infiltrated, if I may use that word, every sphere of life. And the only person who was really serious about removing the left, it wasn't the Congress, because that's why Mohammadadi had to leave the Congress.
Okay.
In 1998, she set up the Trinamool. Mohammadadi's struggles have been for a long while, but I only joined in 2003, so I had the opportunity of working closely with her for those years, then leading up to Shingood, leading up to Nandigram, and so many other mass people movements.
Derek, I wanted to know from you, like when you joined Trinamool, and obviously you must have approached Mohammadadi. So she also must be knowing that, okay, you're coming from a communications background. So you had a very clear-cut idea into your head that you are going to work for the communications and uplifting the image of the party, branding.
No. I don't think that. This is a totally, incorrect impression which people have. I joined Trinamool in 2004 because I really believed that Trinamool was the only party which is serious about throwing the communists out of Bengal. Number one. Number two, I met this lady at that time in 2003, 3-4 times, and I was convinced she is the boss. If I want to join politics, I want her as the boss.
Talking about the last state elections, what is the biggest change which you would say that Trinamool has brought since the time Trinamool has taken over the mantles?
For example, there are so many. Let me give you a few quick ones. One is peace in Jungle Mahal. Number two, you look at certain numbers. Tax revenue in Bengal has gone up by 35% since we took over.
People voted for Mamta Didi with its slogan of Ma, Mati and Manush. But now there is a perception, I'm not saying that it could be correct, but there is a perception which is coming up that probably there is some kind of lawlessness now which is existing. Why is this? What is the reason for this perception?
I call this the LDP.
Okay, what is that?
That is the Lutyens' Delhi perception.
Okay.
Lutyens, Delhi is a 5-kilometer radius.
So that's it.
And all these perceptions are created there.
Okay.
The words like lawlessness and all are absolutely incorrect. The reality is different. I've traveled with Mahudadi to the kind of development work. The only measure of all this has to be elections.
Okay.
You please wait for the Lok Sabha elections, which are going to happen in a few weeks or months from now. And you will see the kind of mandate which we get.
Recently we saw that two platforms, CII and FICCI, holding platforms for Rahul Gandhi and Narendra Modi. So in 2014 elections, the way these business platforms are using the political leaders, and just a subjective view I want, like 2014, do you see some kind of a presidential election kind of a scenario emerging for 2014 elections?
See, 2014, all whether Mr. A or Mr. B, we don't have a presidential form of government. So I think this is a tamasha.
Tell me honestly, the kind of background you came with, communications, advertising, and also as a journalist, you had a journalistic background also. So with that kind of a background, your journey last 10 years, have you given enough of that communications or image uplifting to the party? And what is there in the pipeline when you plan for it?
See, two things. One is this image uplifting. Image uplifting cannot happen by sitting in the image uplifting can only be done through good work, through developmental work. It's not a sunlight soap. The sunlight soap I like sunlight soap incidentally. But for sunlight soap, you can create an advertising campaign, but eventually you have to use the sunlight soap to clean your body. The product has to be good. So the focus is on the product. You know?
So I'm also going to get into the jargon of advertising and ask you, branding is a very important part of advertising. So how do you brand your political party?
No, so it's not, branding is just one very small part. 80% of everything else is the product. If your product is bad in anything, whether it's advertising or politics, you know, your beliefs. See, politics is not about products. There's a struggle. People need to understand that.
Derek is quite a craze amongst the schoolgirls. Look at this.
Lying man, they love it.
Now we are at the social media office of All India Trinamool Congress, and this is the place which manages and coordinates the online presence for the party across the country. Right now at Trinamool Congress Bhavan, which is the main party office, and let's catch Derek O'Brien here.
Bhavane esho, if you come to Bhavane ele, tumi amader Yuvarajke meeting hocche, tomader meeting chilo to.
Derek, one thing I would like to know from you, and that is, we don't see you as a conventional neta. Conventional, when I say it, means that you don't walk around with people. You don't want that band baja to go with you wherever you go. So, what is it?
I don't know. Maybe I have no supporters. No, on a more serious note. No, on a more serious note. You know, I think different people have a different role to play. And this is the Trinamool family. You know, you have some people in the family who can do something, some who can't do something. So, family is there, and we have one mother/father in the family, which is Mahudadi.
No, but where do you go amongst the people, like people on the ground?
I travel, yes. I travel a lot with my colleagues. Now, the problem is if people like us don't come to the Bhavan, and I come regularly, because this is where people drop in, this is where you can meet them.
No, but like apart from the job of a spokesperson, like you said that you get to meet the people, you get to meet the MLAs, for example, you just quoted that you got to meet 3 MLAs from various places.
Today? But no, during election campaigning, this where we're sitting now, this is the ground zero.
Time for a short break now. Don't go away. We'll come back with lots more on Derek O'Brien. Back in a moment. Welcome back. You're watching It's My Life with Trinamool Congress MP Derek O'Brien. No matter how busy Derek is, but his day in Kolkata begins with dropping his daughter Anya to school.
Hey Baba, 5 and.
And now to his favorite hangout. Right now we are at a famous breakfast hangout in Kolkata, which is popularly called Chinatown. And this is one of Derek's favorite places. Okay, so this is one of your places which you come regularly, right?
No, not regular, at least once or twice a month. Oh. I used to come here regularly when I was younger.
Okay. So what makes you bring here generally?
I used to come here with my friends when I was long years ago. It's good now. My dad and mom love this too.
Okay.
So I normally pack some stuff up for them.
Okay.
It's a great Chinese community in Calcutta.
So approximately how many Chinese do you have staying here?
30,000.
Okay. That's
big.
an important vote bank.
No, not about vote bank. See, people are not vote banks. People are people.
After this sumptuous breakfast, time to burn some calories. We are right now at Kolkata's famous Tollygunge Club, which is more than 100 years old and also finds mention in the top 10 clubs list of the world. Coming to your personal front, Derek, how is it like? You told me that you drop your daughter every day to school, but do you feel that you're able to do enough justice to your family in terms of spending time with the family members?
When I'm in Calcutta, yes. Anya is now, 17, almost 18, but I think from the time she was 3, every day I dropped her to school and picked her up from school. But that's when I'm in Cal. Obviously, when I'm traveling, that doesn't happen.
So she's never had any reason to complain from her dad? And he's been regular with your parent-teachers meeting and stuff?
Yeah.
Her mom doesn't go to the parent-teacher meeting. I'm only sent.
Okay. And your wife is in US?
My wife lives in New York. She has, I have 2 stepdaughters who live in New York. And Anya lives in Cal.
And do you have any complaints against your father?
He's always on the phone.
He's always on the phone? Oh God. Derek?
So we have to have no screen time for at least 1 hour every day.
Okay. How is it like? You want her to enter into politics, or you want to keep her away from politics? What is it?
I don't know what politics, but there are 2 things I do, politics and quizzing. And Anya is not interested in politics, nor is she interested in quizzing.
Oh.
Yeah, she's interested in M. It's music.
Okay. What about your love for music?
I like Hindi music actually. I only watch Hindi films.
Which is a Hindi movie which you've caught latest?
I play safe. I first read the review.
Okay, and then...
Like Himmat Wala, I never watched it. It got such pathetic reviews, so we didn't watch it.
So are you regular with going to the theatres with Anya?
We go sometimes for a movie, but she likes watching English movies, that's the problem.
Okay.
She likes English, I like Hindi, so it's difficult to adjust.
No, but generally it does happen that you have different choices, but a person like you, one wouldn't have imagined that you have such a great love for Hindi music.
Oh, Hindi music, Hindi films, and when I was in school, I used to watch every Rajesh Khanna movie, not once, at least 2, 3, 4 times.
मुशाए जिंदगी बड़ी होनी चाहिए लंबी नहीं हद करते हो मौत के डर से अगर जिंदा रहना छोड़ दिया तो मौत कैसे कहते हैं क्यों दोस्त बाबूशाह जब तक जिंदा हूं तब तक मरा नहीं, जब मर गया साला मैं ही नहीं.
You've been a writer yourself. Do you get enough time now to pen down anything?
Well, I've written, I shouldn't say I've written actually, that's not fair. We've written because I've got a wonderful team at Derek O'Brien Associates, and we have written more than 45 reference books, quiz books for Penguin and Rupa. Okay. So it's great. Yeah, that's that. In fact, if you really want to know, writing is a quiet passion of mine.
So Anya, how do you see your dad coming up? Like, what do you want to see him as now? Maybe in the next 10 years?
I guess still in Parliament. So,
okay.
yeah.
So, you remember any of his speeches in Parliament?
He hasn't watched a single speech.
Oh!
Yeah, I think that's the good thing, you know, I mean, you know...
That's a strong disconnect.
Yeah, because quizzing, Parliament, you know, I mean, as you're doing this program called It's My Life, I think a very important part of it is it's her life and her interests, you know, even 5 years, 7 years from now, even her political interests may be different.
So you've never got hooked onto his speech, like for example, if he's making a speech on a particular
even
subject?
if I send her the link, she won't open the link and watch it.
So what next for Derek O'Brien? How do you see yourself?
I don't look at the destination. It's time to enjoy the journey. I've done that in my advertising and journalistic life. I've done that in my quizzing life. And it's 10 years in politics. So enjoy the journey. It's a beautiful world. So forget about the destination.
I'm sure you'll go a long way. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Neelu. Thank you so much.
Wish you all the best. Okay, and thanks, Anya, for coming on It's My Life.